Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me. So if you can hear me, say something in the comment section. Let me go ahead and look at that. It's a day, guys. I don't even know what's going on right now. So last minute change to the what's my thing? Let me comment here. Last minute thing to the um, subject matter. Yes, we are actually going to talk about. Um, oh, thank you, Tasha. Um, I still was about to tell you something else, but we were actually going to talk about something else, which I'm just going to push back to another time. Um, so I'm making sure I put this link up where you can join the live. So we're going to talk about something different, as mentioned, but instead, I'm actually going to talk about what the subject matter is now, which is selling your last name, right? Yep, selling your last name, y'all. Today has been a doozy. Anyway, so in the meantime, in between time, be sure to like, comment, love. I prefer you love it, and watch it via YouTube. Because then if you comment, I can see your name. Also, I'm not doing social media for the next, I hear myself, that's annoying, the next few days. So if you do comment, I won't be able to click on and see who it is and then say your name later. So I need you to just type your name or watch it on YouTube and go from there. We're talking selling your last name. I'm trying to do what I probably should have did like 3 minutes ago, but y'all not gonna judge me. Y'all not gonna do that to me today. Okay, not today. Okay. Ah, Lord, trillions. Oh, for your last name. Okay, we didn't even ask for a price yet, sir. Calm down. Calm down. Why can't I? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna add him to the live. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, how's it going?
For sale. Not for wholesale. Stupid. Okay. Entertain the people really quickly um while I do some
Can I
housekeeping
greet the
stuff.
people you said?
Yes, go ahead and greet people. Tell people about yourself. Tell them who you are.
Good.
Tell them who you are by now. You're always on, which is great. I
So
appreciate it.
yeah, so I am here tonight to partake in one of my favorite days of the week, a lively discussion with our host. And it's going to get wild tonight, so put your seatbelts on.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, 1000%. We're going to get down to
Oh,
the root and the
Lordy,
tutor tonight.
Lordy B. Okay, so this whole conversation actually started because Mr. For sale for sale wholesale, not wholesale, um, at another I guess colleague of ours was I don't know how we got into this conversation, and I kept thinking about how the freak did we get into this conversation. Do you remember how we got to this point?
Not at all, actually.
Right. So we went through whole bunch of conversation, and it went from culture to it was about culture. It was about culture. It was about culture. We went from culture to something
Oh,
else.
I
Something
know.
else. Something else.
We were in a Thai restaurant, and we were discussing a gentleman there who was trying to get his citizenship, and we're talking about all the things that they have to do to get their citizenship. And someone
Right.
brought up that the shortcut could be just marrying somebody.
Right. So with that came, let me show this. Please feel free to donate. I don't mind if you do. Don't mind if you do. So yeah, with that we were talking about they were talking about the price was $10,000, right? And I was like, $10,000 for what? And they was like, that's a lot of money. I'm like, but you're married to the person for how long?
5 years
For
or
like
3 years.
5 years. You have to be married to the person. Well, we settled on 5 years.
Right.
So you have to be married to the person for 5 years. And I'm like, that's not a lot of money. And it was me and him and one other guy. I'm like, no, that's a lot of money. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I broke it down to $2,000 a year. That's not even poverty. That's like you may as well just eat one body part a month and try to survive. Like you can't live off of 2,000. You can, I mean, I guess you can, but you can't successfully live off of $2,000 a year unless you think you can.
No, but I think $10,000 is a skew. We'll get into it later, I'm sure. I think $10,000 is a skewered uh, reality of what you're getting. So the $10,000 payment, if you will, it unlocks a lot, right? The $10,000 scratches the surface, but it unlocks a lot of other stuff.
$10,000.
No.
Okay. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. Ronnie, I'm gonna add Ronnie White also. So we got two men. Okay, he's via audio. I accept that. Hello, Ronnie. Welcome to the party. Okay, welcome to the party. How are you today, Ronnie? I don't have to greet the other two because they're here
I'm
often. How are you, Ronnie?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to set up so that I can turn my camera on, but I'm doing well. Hey, we got the major twins on tonight, and we got my brother
First of
from
all, calm
another.
down. You got to know the rules here. We don't keep. Um.
Well, I love all
Oh,
y'all.
Ronnie is the other person I was talking to.
Right, right. You just realized which Ronnie that was.
Because I'm thinking, why is RJ calling himself Ronnie? And who is this white? Okay, so Ronnie is the other person we talked to at the table. I'm glad it's two chicks, two dudes. Cool. So $10,000 again, like I said, they were like, that's good money. And obviously myself and heck no are like, nah, $2,000 a year. And then they up the ante. They up the ante. What do you think they up the ante to? Heck no.
I don't even. I'm sorry. Is this like a real thing? Is this really happening?
Yes.
Can,
What do
can
you
I give
think
the
they up the?
background?
Go ahead. Go for it.
So we were talking about it yesterday about what people who are not citizens go to sometimes to become citizens, and I mentioned that I have been approached multiple times, more than once, about marrying someone from another another country so that they could get their citizenship, and that they pay, $10,000, $20,000. One of the guys that I was with from Thailand said that his family and the people he know, they pay up to $20,000 to $30,000 to marry someone to get their citizenship. But you have to act like you're married for 3 to 5 years. They do. Are you gonna offer us some Longhorn, or are you just gonna eat it in my face?
Focus on, she gonna eat in your face because you only paying $10,000. She gonna eat her own food, okay?
Right.
You pay for yours, she gotta pay for hers.
Right. So literally, I said that I would do it. I'm at a place where I think I would do it now, for the sake of $20,000-$30,000, and I would expect all marital benefits during the 3 to 5 years.
You jumped. You went too far. That wasn't backstory. The backstory was how y'all jumped to another number. What number do you think they jumped to?
Wait a minute, but you said he approached you. So you want marital benefits with him?
Not he. Wait a minute. No one said he approached. First of all,
you said he.
No.
You said his family's willing to pay.
No.
That's
no. Those were two different points. No. Those were two different points, and don't be coy. It doesn't look good on you. Coy doesn't match your eyes.
But I'm chummy.
Hello.
I reserve comment. Yeah, I reserve comment on that. Yeah. So that was the backdrop.
They upped the ante to 30,000. They said if they pay me 30,000, if they get 30,000, then that'll work for them, basically. I said, you're not marrying me for less than 50.
Eat your food, please.
Like, you're not marrying me for less than 50. And then I also added, there ain't no good stuff involved in it. You ain't getting none of my good stuff for 50,000. They're like, so what's the benefit of him coming here? I'm like, he gets to be in America. Isn't that what he wanted? Like, I don't. Oh, go ahead.
You mean to tell me? Listen to what you're saying. Someone gives you $50,000 and they live with you 3 to 5 years.
That's $10,000 a year. I'm still in poverty. Do the math.
Okay, but you mean to tell me at that point you're legally married, that person does not have an expectation of numbspot or whatever it is that you like to call it? That's a hard $50,000 check to write.
Okay, wait.
Are you familiar with a $40 holler?
Do I look like I'm familiar with a $40 holler? No.
Okay, but it's $40 is a long way from 50,000. I just want to say that for the record.
Right, and so is my good stuff. Anyway, so if you're giving me 50,000, what you're paying for is you're not paying for the marriage. You're not paying for? You're not paying for the relationship. You're paying for the marriage certificate so that you can more easily enter the United States. That's what you're paying for. Because that was the case. Go ahead.
I agree with that, but am I okay? Are you okay with Are you okay with me entertaining others while we're playing married in the same home?
I'll let Ashley answer that.
I couldn't care less what he did. If he's paying me to be here, and if he wants to jeopardize the look of things by having a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever, that's not him. But I don't think $50,000 is enough to say, hey, let's move in together for 3 years of my life. Because you're holding me
trying to get my good stuff.
Right, you're holding me hostage. And I'm a type of person, I don't like anxiety. I don't like the unknown. I would feel like I'm always on edge because I feel like we're being watched and all that stuff. To me, it's not worth it. $50,000 for 1 year is not worth it. Because I just feel like the anxiety level is too much. And I'm not lying to the FBI, the CIA, the NAACP. So I think it'd be a waste of money fooling with me.
We're not married. We're not.
So
But
so
right,
if he gives
that
you
first
50,
interview, I'm presenting that check that his family wrote. Look what they wrote me. I did cash it, but I took a picture. I cashed it so I could keep it. Um,
so you're saying you wouldn't there's no amount of money that someone even if I'm a Ukrainian man and I'm running away from Russia and I got $1 million right now, you wouldn't
maybe
marry to say.
I wouldn't even. I don't think I would charge a Ukrainian man at this point in time.
Whoa.
With them
So
shelters.
All
now
of my Ukrainian friends out there.
right, or wherever she is on your screen.
Right.
Come on, come on, come on. Bring your kids to
Ronnie,
it.
what you got, Ronnie? Unmute yourself and talk to
Well,
us, cause
well, let me say this. That's great to hear while I'm on the phone. Uh, let me say this. Um,
We got
First
people
thing
problems.
is,
I'm
say
not
that
on it.
again.
Sound somebody
So,
yelling for help.
no, that's my 16-year-old daughter who's a little extra. Yeah, but what I was saying is when we discussed this yesterday, what Brandy is not mentioning
Uh-huh.
is the
Fix it.
fact that we all knew that the good stuff would be an extra benefit. But what we were saying, hey, $50,000 in everybody else's world except Ashley and Brandy, for the rest of us, little people, is a lot of money. So because that's a lot of money, then we need to take into consideration what the 50 grand will be paying for.
Your
JC, so
entry into the United States. That's what you
I love your
wanted.
close up to the camera.
That's what you. That's what the freak you wanted. And $50,000 is not a lot of
that's
money
a
for
lot of money.
5 years of your life.
That's a lot of money.
For
Let me
five
ask you,
years,
can I ask you this? How am I going to court someone else? How am I going to afford to court someone else if I just paid you $50,000 off the rip? I ain't got no choice but to be with you because I'm too broke to be with somebody else.
Right. You don't have a choice but to be with me. I have a choice to be with you. And I choose not to. You might not have choices, but I do.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are you open? What if could you be won over by him? Let's say you do like his conversation and you do like his personality, and could you be won over?
I won't put anything past anybody. But that's not
So
gonna
you're
be
saying it's not a guarantee of we're getting in the bed, but it's possible if I play my cards right.
I'm not saying it's possible. I'm saying it's not a guarantee, but I don't know what tomorrow holds. I'm not even gonna say it's a possible. Because for me, it's not possible.
Well,
But I'm not
no. You're saying it's possible, it's not probable.
I'm saying it's not probable.
Yeah, it's
More
not probable, but it is possible.
I'm saying it's
I'm
neither.
saying if your name doesn't start with Chris and ends with Evans, you can hang that up.
Who is Chris Evans? I think it's all cap because it's a lot of women that give their self away for far less. Some of them free and $50,000.
What they gotta do with me though?
No,
And them the ones that they should find. That'll take that little measly $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to give them both their entry into America and the good stuff. Find them.
I just think it's impossible. Now, maybe I'm wrong. If a female gave me $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to gain American citizenship, and we lived in the same home because the private investigators come by unannounced, and we did that for 5 years. I think it's impossible for us to play married in front of my family, for us to laugh, and I think it's impossible for us not to eventually end up in bed. That's me.
I think that
'Cause you're
guys,
married.
right? I think that guys look at that situation and they look at it as ownership. I think there's a level within you or within a man or within some people. I'm not gonna say a man that says, "Oh, there might be a private investigator that made that comment." Who says, "Hey, she paid me. She has no options. Stuck. I can do whatever I want with her." I
Mail
think that
order
is
bride.
a form of property. And it's not that you like her.
Your
It's just,
ceiling looks great, Ronnie.
and I think that that's like the mail order brides. You know, I bought this lady from wherever, and I know she has no options. So I'm gonna do
Right.
whatever I want and talk to her how I want to, and demand her to overly perform, whether it's food or whatever, cooking or cleaning. You're kind of treating her like a slave. But for a woman, I don't think if it's a
Right.
contract and we enter that does not even cross my mind to say we're going to be in a sexual relationship. That's not even a thought.
You
You
know what?
contractual agreement. I'm helping you out.
Something's wrong with us. You're right. I as much as I hate to agree with you. 1000%, I could see that. That it is.
Okay, what do you see, and what do you what do you mean by something's wrong with?
That either way, whether the man's paying the 50,000 or that the man's being paid the 50,000, that he has an expectation that he owns the body. Women, I could see that a woman not think like that.
Well, thank you guys. That was our live for today. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Unless she's a cougar, and she's been hurt a couple times and she won't what she won't.
Right, but he's no. I mean, no, because he's still benefiting. He still be taking advantage of that situation. Um. So then the question is like, what amount? Because I'll marry you. I'll marry you for 5 years, but the amount has to be right. Because that's literally me putting
what's your
my
amount?
life on hold.
What's your amount for my friends in Africa? I just shared this for my friends in Africa. What's your amount?
My amount is Chris.
What's your amount, Ashley?
I don't think I would do it. Like, and I just don't think I would do it.
What amount could get
I
you over
would love,
your
I don't know.
anxiety?
I don't know. I would love for somebody to approach me and test the theory and offer me a great amount. But
Elon Musk.
I think that when I think about something like that, I'm not considering it by myself. I have children. So I'm bringing someone into my home that's a stranger, that's already willing to break the law and do some illegal stuff because that is illegal. He might not have the same ethics, morals.
Why y'all didn't tell me I had this sticker on my forehead from Tegan?
Didn't notice it, but I'm glad you interrupted. What if you didn't have the kids though? What if there were no kids? It was just you, boom,
right.
bam, pow.
I would have to move.
Because I get that. But what if it was just you?
Then I wouldn't feel safe as an individual because now I'm living with a stranger who does not have the same morals or ethics. I have to sleep with one eye open.
Y'all have the same morals because you took the money.
Right.
No,
y'all definitely on the same.
You got to come high for me though. I feel like I period would not do it. I would not do it. Chad's on mute if he saw
$100,000.
I would not do it. A year, because I wouldn't do it for 5. At 100,000 for 5 years is too low.
Right, I'm thinking by year.
I would say I would do 100,000, but I couldn't do 5 years.
Wasn't that a turnaround?
No, listen, it would have to be a year max because I can't.
But that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't have a number. I'm not doing it for 5 years because I feel like my anxiety level just thinking about it is high. I'm not doing it.
I would do 250 a year for 3.
So how you can
that's
go that
750? That's almost $1 million.
Well, if he wants to round up, then by all means.
But let me ask you this.
Stuff is not included.
And I don't know if Chad wants to jump in here, but let me ask you this. Do you not think that having a price that high is almost like saying, I'm not going to do it? Because there's some women that it will not take nearly as much as $750. Why would I pay you $750 when I can probably find someone for $50 that doesn't mind what comes with $50?
Well, do it. Find her then. Because there's always somebody that's gonna do the lowest. I mean, there's always somebody that's gonna outlow you.
There's
always outlow you. When you go low, they go lower.
What
When you
they
go
gonna
low, they go low.
they gonna outlow
It's
you.
always somebody in the gutter and digging deeper.
and,
So go from
and
there.
the thing is that to me, there is the possibility of me actually liking you. It is. Because I can hang around people, like, I can meet someone, we chill. I'm like, oh, I actually can vibe with you. And we're not even in the same house. So
Do
it's
you
a
give the money
possibility.
back?
So what you're getting, no. So what you're getting is a possibility of your children looking like this. You know what I'm saying? But you can get the chick off the street who'll give you good stuff for the 10 grand. You're gonna get crabs, but whatever.
I think if we're as high as 750, what we're talking about at this point is not my citizenship, but we're talking about an actual arranged marriage. Hey, listen, I want to, yeah, at this point, I'm not selling my last name. We're selling your life. If I pay you 750, I'm coming over. I'm attracted to you. I want to get to know you. I want to work towards a healthy marriage. This is not no longer a charade. This is me buying a
Me
wife.
too.
I feel like for you to say that, I think it's interesting. Hey, 750,000. I'm interested. I really want this to work out. But did you give 750,000 to your last wife? No. So if it didn't cost that much for you to get married, then don't act like now all of a sudden this means we got to make this thing work. So you went low. You outlowed yourself. There's people get married for much less. So that just
but
because
he's saying, but he's saying,
don't mean we got to get married. That's my point.
he's he's saying, if I'm giving you that much money, oh, we're gonna make this thing work.
Right.
I
That's
think
what I'm
that's what
saying.
he's saying.
Now I get what he's saying, but I'm just saying, just like that's
You're
how
saying he should have invested that.
I'm saying that it don't take all that. So because it don't take 750 to get married, you don't have to be with me. Like you could pay 750 for your green card.
What right? So we don't gotta do this. But if you want to walk around the streets,
When Tasia said it ain't happening, I was confused on what her ain't happening is.
Tasia, go bop on here. Bop on here and tell us what you ain't happening. And Chad, what you want? Well, how would you like to chime in on this? Chad said, "I take a cheeseburger." Okay, I think he's gone. Okay. Priscilla agrees with you. Actually, she said my nerves wouldn't allow it.
It's too nerve wracking. It really is. It's just too much. Every day and night
But
you
what?
watched.
But
Right.
what would be your number,
Women
Priscilla?
say their
What
nerves
would be
wouldn't
your
allow it.
number, Tasia? Hmm?
Women say their nerves wouldn't allow it, but they don't claim somebody cheering this year on their taxes. I'm just joking.
Not me.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I didn't say I wouldn't allow it. I stated my
Right,
number, and if you
right. You
can't
just
meet
want your
that
points
number,
to be right.
and if you can't meet that number, bro, I mean, because I'm giving up literally 3 years of my life because
But
I
but
have to
look,
pretend I'm acting every day of the year.
but what if
Pay
he's
me for my work.
what if you like Ashley said earlier, if he wants to have a boyfriend and jeopardize this thing, that's him. What if the dude is like, hey, I'm paying you, but I understand you got a boyfriend, yada yada yada. What if you're not really giving up your life? Does the value then come down?
How are you
I,
not giving up your life though?
you have
You
to
got a
keep up the
roommate.
charade. You got to keep up the charade.
You got a roommate. Y'all sleeping in separate rooms.
Right, and the rent, his part of the rent is 26,000 a year.
Right. Yeah, I think that maybe that's why people aren't paying 50, 60,000. Because I think people, the normal person, and I'm not saying you two are abnormal, I guess maybe I am. I think the abnormal person who would do something like this understands that the value can't be too high because there's so many people willing to do it.
Right, and it's a lot of people that was willing to do a lot of stuff and they in jail because they was willing to commit a lot of crimes.
So
I mean,
your issue
not,
is
I'm not doing
a legal issue more than anything.
right. If it was not illegal, I think that's step number one. If it was not illegal, I'm more inclined to do it.
If
I'm not.
it were not illegal, what would your price be?
If it was not illegal, I had no children, and it was just somebody wanting to move in. Because if it's not illegal, that means we don't have to do any interviews and none of that because it's not illegal. I would let somebody move in with me for 50,000 a year. Sure.
50,000 a year though.
Sure.
So that's 250,000.
Sure. That's a no-brainer. Yep. If it was not illegal, come on over.
But they couldn't come for 50,000 flat.
For 5 years, no. No. Mm-mm. The lowest I would go probably is 30. That's my bottom.
I'll do discounts.
30 is the lowest. And you can come, we can get a place and you can pay 70% of the rent or mortgage
on top of
On top of the
on
on
top of
top of the 50,000 a year.
you, right? So you're saying, so I'm agree with that because you're not coming in here giving me 50,000.
Oh yeah,
So
y'all
out of your
sick.
50,000,
Yeah.
is coming mortgage,
Yeah,
light bill, food.
y'all not being fair. Y'all not being something wrong
Well,
with
listen
y'all.
to what you're saying. You're saying out of that 50,000, let's say he said 50,000 a year. Out of that 50,000, I'm supposed to pay for his portion of the living expenses as well. All of that comes out of 50.
No. If I pay you $50,000 a year, because this is your business, the overhead, because now it's your business. The cost of overhead for you making this work, you should pay the 10, 15, $18,000 or 18, excuse me. The $18,000 that it costs to have a business place to conduct your business. If making the home is your business, it's a cost of your business to have a place in lights, because that's a part of it. That's what I'm coming over here for.
So
No,
50,000.
you're coming over here to get your citizenship. You ain't coming over here to live for free.
That don't make any sense.
Live for,
You
I
could
know.
People that even go,
Is something wrong with me?
yeah, something's wrong with you. People that
Something's wrong with you.
even go to, no, that don't make any sense.
It doesn't, because you're saying out of that 50,000, literally, it's coming rent or mortgage. That's 18,000. That's what we said. Let's think groceries. Who's paying for his bus fare? I guess I'm paying for it out of his 50,000 because he's not taking my car. Who's paying for the car if he gets one? Who's paying for him to get to work? Does he have a job? Because I'm paying for him to live. Does he need a job? Like you want me to fulfill all these wifely duties? Who's cooking the food? Who's cleaning up? Who's doing all this stuff?
No, you ain't gotta cook for me. I'm gonna eat fufu like I did when I was home.
Right, but who paid for your fufu? Boo boo.
I think that if I come over here and you're still working, I don't know why you think that because I pay you $50,000 a year, you automatically become an at-home wife. You still got a job.
Right, but that job I had was supporting me, not me and you.
But listen to what you're saying. You're saying you still have a job, but then you just said that this is your job, so you should be paying for the house. If this is my
side job, because it's an
okay, so now it's my side job. So now it's my side job.
Or your second job.
Wait,
it's a source of income.
Time. So if it's my side job, because when you have an at-home job, you can't claim your entire utility bill on your taxes. You can claim a portion of it. You can claim a portion of your mortgage. I can claim a portion of this home towards whatever this business is. But so I got to pay the whole home, even though I can only claim a portion for you to stay here. No, that don't make any sense what you're saying. So I still got to go to work. I still got to pay all the bills. Now I got to pay more bills because you're here. So
you're here.
My water bill went up. Okay. Everything went up.
Out of the 250,
I got to pay more. No.
Out of 250,
stay in your country.
No. Out of the 250 that I pay you, I tell you what. Because I do have to pay where I live.
50,000 for 5 years. 50,000 for 5 years. 250.
That's 250,000.
Okay, I didn't know you. I thought you meant we still.
So the 5-year contract, I'm paying you 250,000. if I was gonna say I would rent a room
In my house, you renting one.
and pay a portion of the utilities, but I can't see that because if you're making 50 grand a year for me to stay here, what are you doing other than allowing me to stay here to make the 50 grand?
I'm helping you get your
No.
citizenship. That's what you wanted. That's what your goal was, to get to America, land of the not so free, home of the not brave at all. That's what you wanted. That's what you're paying for.
I think
But now you
that
want all these amenities. You didn't say in the contract, you didn't say when you spoke to me in DR, you weren't like, hola mamita, I would like to come over there and so that I can get citizenship. Oh, and I'm gonna live with you, and you're gonna pay for all my bills, and I'm gonna get a car, and you're gonna pay for this, and you're gonna pay for this, and you're gonna pay for that.
so if I was that rich to pay you $50,000 a year and pay your mortgage and light bills the whole 5 years, I don't need to be leaving my country because I've done well for myself wherever I am.
Right. But we were talking about that at the when we were eating, right? About how it's the family that collectively probably pays for them to get here so that they can bring other people over. So now you paying me so you can bring your whole family over here.
This, I think
You
this is
welcome.
price gouging.
It's not price gouging because you're asking me my price. It's price gouging if I'm your only resort. You have other options.
Is there a woman watching who would like to go live who would take less than $1 million? Because these two,
270, 775 for 3 years.
you're
Look,
worse. You're
Tasia
worse.
said no. Priscilla said no. There is no female that said no. The question is, the guys, how much would y'all charge? Well, y'all probably be like, I'll do 5,000 because I'm gonna get some of that nookie anyway. Like, what would be your price? And you're not getting any good stuff.
If the circumstances permitted, I would take the 30 or 50,000, even without.
For 5 years. Oh, now he changed his mind on the 5 years. Before it was okay.
5 years seems like a long time.
Okay, so you would take 50,000 for 3 years.
I would take 50,000 for 3 years,
Okay.
even if we had an agreement that she was just not, even if it was just literally for show and she wasn't, breaking me off, or I would. Yeah,
So if
think about
somebody,
this.
so if somebody paid you $16,000 a year, because that's pretty much what it comes down to, you would let anybody move in then. So if somebody came up to you right now and said, "Hey, I want to move in for $60,000 a year," you would let anybody move in.
For
And then
$60,000 a year,
$16,000 a year, 16. And then because what you're saying is that if they come and moving with you, you're paying for the living expenses and all of that, the utilities and everything. So if I said to you today, "Hey, I'll give you $16,000, let me move in each year, and you pay for everything concerning me," so you would do that. You could do that with anybody. So if some Joe Schmo walks up to you, you're saying, "Hey, I'll pay for everything. You could just come live with me."
that's only $330. That's only $330 a week. That's like a rooming house, and that's a cheap.
Boom.
Yeah.
This comment is right. That comment right there. You cannot put a price on opportunity, and that's exactly what they get.
So you would do that then.
Because if
And
that's
not
the
just
case,
woman house,
hello,
because you're
Ukraine.
providing everything for that person. That's what you said.
Maybe 50,000 would be my number.
Oh, okay.
For 3 years.
That's 16,000 a year.
That's 16,000 a year.
I don't know if I would. Let me say this. I don't know if I would provide everything for them
Oh,
because
but you
now I'm
just told
thinking
me I
like y'all.
should.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
Now
told
I'm
me I
thinking like
should.
y'all. Huh?
You just told me I should though. I should pay for everything because
Right.
you
But
coming
my
over
amount is
here.
much cheap. My
Oh,
amount
please.
is much
Yeah, but
lower.
that's your amount. But that's your amount. The obligation, what you're saying you would do for that person, doesn't change based on the amount. And
No,
you
no. At
said
50,000, at
you said that
16,000 a
it's
year,
only
at
right
six. No,
to pay for
at
everything. That's what you said. Because this your
at,
You
business.
at
said
This your business.
your overhead.
Your overhead. While you stop and work, you gotta keep working. So hey, so if
Brandy, take
anybody
her
in
camera off.
America,
Brandy,
anybody in
put her out of
America,
the show, please.
anybody in America looking for a place,
Yeah.
all you need
She
is
giving
sixteen
it to
thousand
you.
dollars,
She
and
giving it back to you.
he'll handle the rest. You could be in America for all he care.
Right. 16,000. You have a place to stay. And you're not paying for nothing except for the 16,000 a year.
Right. Come with no clothes.
Tasia talking about
Cause
she
she's
got you
fine.
there.
I'm right. Got you
Come with
there.
no clothes. You don't need a toothbrush, nothing. He's providing everything you need to live and to live well. You'll
Right.
eat well. You're not gonna give you slop.
You have no restrictions on what the temperature is. You
Right.
have no restrictions on what you have to eat because he's
You
paying
can
for it. Lobster,
you can
olive,
run the
crab
water.
every day.
You can run the water all day long. Just leave the faucet on. Just put your hands under it when you need it. Leave every light on, even in the day.
Because even if it is not day, it cannot always
Be
be
nice.
night.
I'm serious. It don't make
I mean,
sense.
that's
So it does not make sense. So now what's your number?
a really great point.
So now what's your number? Because I got an auntie that's willing to do the 16. And I'm a spot of 5.
I think if my number stayed the same, she would have to pay me rent.
Oh, now you need rent.
Now she got to pay rent.
I can admit
Interesting.
when I've been wrong. I mean, I have no problem.
Exactly. He thought
Now,
about the numbers. The numbers were
Let
them
me
numbers. That
recalculate.
math ain't mathing. That math
Let me-
the
wasn't mathing.
that math ain't mathing.
You over there doing
Yeah.
science. You should
I
be
mean,
doing
but
that.
I
Right.
will say this. I will say this in my defense. If she's attracted to me and we are doing other things, she gets a reprieve on the rent.
So there now you go back to the ownership. Because I can do
Right.
what I want with you. That
If I
You're
own you,
you're my property, and I don't have to pay
right.
you to
but
work.
y'all making that seem like that because I'm a guy. If a
No,
girl
you
said that,
said
y'all
that.
wouldn't be saying. If a
You
girl
just
said that,
said
y'all
that.
Right.
wouldn't be saying it was ownership.
Now she's your property. And so now you should provide a place for her because it's like a dog. You don't expect the dog to pay rent. And you feed the dog with no issues. You bathe the dog.
No,
So
she's not a
now,
dog though. The fact
yes,
that
she's a
you're
dog.
reducing a woman to a
Now
dog
she is
is
no, that's what you're doing.
embarrassing.
She's
No, that's
that
what
she's
you're
not.
doing.
No, don't try to
You're
do that.
saying,
Don't try to do that. You're not
you're
lessening the woman
saying
to the
now
dog.
because you can
You're
control her
comparing it
body,
to
she doesn't
Hey,
have to
right.
pay.
Brandy, I'm spinning this. Yeah, this is called
I'm gonna spin it back.
No, that don't make
ricochet.
any sense. Ricochet, right. Now that you can do what you want with her body, now she don't have to pay you rent. So you've reduced her to an animal. She's property now.
I think if a woman stays with me for free, she's her amount. She's gonna. And when I say if a woman stays with me for free, I mean in this scenario. That sounded real Bill Cosby like. What
Because I didn't do it.
Thank you.
y'all rolled your eyes hard. Woo-wee.
I didn't. I am. So you're gonna recalculate your number, figure out that number, that
So
real
what's your number?
number,
What's
Right.
your number now?
and my number is going to stay as is.
But your name is first. So I just want to make sure. My number, I have a number of buying and selling. I need to recalculate it. You have a number of 250 for 3 years. And Ashley, you don't have a number if it's not completely legal.
Right.
She said 100,000,
No,
She
but it
no,
would only be for a
I wouldn't
year.
do it. Right. I wouldn't
Right.
do it.
But
I'm
she
yeah.
said she would
I
only
think
do that if it's legal.
no, I think my number, if it's illegal, would be a hard 100,000, but there's no time. So if I chicken out within a week, there's no refund. I
So for
chicken
all
out
my
for a week.
for all my African friends watching, pay her by the week. So when you go, she don't owe you. Yeah, don't pay her up front.
Right.
Don't get her no deposits.
It's
The-
gonna need to be a first week and last week.
and
Now,
it's
plus
a,
security, plus
right, the
security,
first and last week up
first
front.
and
And
last week,
right.
plus security. And then
and the
when I say
quickest
last,
And
way
a
to be
pet
on
fee.
your feet
And a
is to
pet
miss a
fee.
week.
Huh?
Yeah, there'll be no time for me because once I'm done, because I can only go without sleep for about 18 hours stop. So because I'm not gonna be losing
What
sleep.
if there was a screening process and you got to know the person?
I'm not doing nothing illegal.
Let me ask you this, and I believe this is very connected, even though it's going to seem like it's not connected. And hopefully, Heck No doesn't mind me saying this. So you recently have been watching this Married at First Sight thing, that you're absolutely in love with.
Great show.
Right. And I told you recently, while watching it together, that I just could not do it. You said that it's not you for you, it's not as abnormal as it is to me. What's the difference?
Illegal? Not illegal. That's the difference. One is illegal and one is not illegal.
Right.
I would do Married at First Sight.
I would get married at first sight too. If you match me with
I
Because
would do
that
that.
is selling their name. That's
somebody
exactly what it
like
is.
Vincent from the last season or Woody from the season before that,
Woody.
match me right, and I am 100. I'm ready.
That
And I
because
would
that is
even
selling their name. They're on a reality show. They're getting paid to actually marry someone, and a lot of them don't have sex the first night. But I
But
said,
they're not. But what they're getting paid to do is an experiment. That's just like telling somebody you can't get paid for trying this drug out for us. They're getting paid too. They're getting paid to try and experiment. Can these two people work together based off of these components? It's an experiment that they're getting paid for,
let me say this, just in case
and I would take that experiment.
anybody from Married at First Sight is watching, anybody in the producer or selection position cast, is watching. I really feel like they should do a Married at First Sight with children edition. Hello.
so you would bring a stranger in your home with your children from Married at First Sight, but not one
I
who
would.
could afford, to pay you $100,000.
I would. I sure would. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
crazy, folks.
No,
If you're
because
watching
they
this,
screen these people. They determine compatibility. You know what? I'm not against arranged marriage.
where's
I
Tasia now?
remember,
Tasia,
I
would you do Married at
remember
First Sight?
saying that I wanted my moms to pick my husband. I'm not against arranged marriage.
Me either. I asked her to do the same thing.
And I even told my girls, I want to pick their husbands. I want to do the screening. I want to see how compatible, because I know them well. And I will know what meshes. Every guy I dated that came home, my mom called him right away. She said, "Nope, he's an excuse maker. Nope, he's not strong enough for you. Nope, nope, nope." But then when one came along, she said, how you feel about him?" I think that my mom made a good choice. Not saying that, but I just feel like I would definitely do Married at First Sight. I am excited about the possibility. If they ever do a With Children edition, I am putting up an audition tape, and hopefully somebody will do it. They will do it. Sure.
I'm gonna try out for the next one.
I think that's. Why don't you just put your children up for adoption and then go do it?
First of all,
Whoa.
That was low. You went lower.
Right. He keep going low. You need to watch a Michelle Obama speech.
Right when they go low.
Tasia,
You
you
a little
Tasia, go
high.
ahead and open that screen. I mean, put on your camera so you can say that out loud so the people can hear it for the people in the back.
I think that if I think it's interesting. I think that so I want to deal with two things because I brought that up to talk about screening. Back to the foreigners. If you had a screening process with them, you still wouldn't do that. I don't understand what the difference. So you want to be on TV, is what you're saying?
It's
So
illegal. If it was not illegal, I would do it. I would do it. But it's illegal. I'm not doing it. And it's not about being on TV. But Married at First Sight, they have now where they do like a follow-up now. They have like a 6 or so episodes where they're showing couples that are still together. And I think that the experts do a good job matching. I really believe that. I believe that there are still good black men out there, and it's just very
Well,
far
duh.
from me,
You're talking to one.
and that they do a good job matching them. So I would believe in what the experts are doing. I would feel totally confident in who they match me with. I will pray to God that he has great oral hygiene, and because that's like a deal breaker for me.
and
But
exactly.
and I would let the experts know that, so they wouldn't pick anybody who doesn't have good oral hygiene.
And I think the people don't work because they're not physically attracted to the person. They don't give the chemistry a chance.
Mhm.
Oh, so now y'all can be attracted to chemistry, but Olu Olu Badu from Africa, it's been reduced to a strict give me $250,000 a year.
First of all, Olubadu doesn't even know English. Okay, so come
To
on now.
break the law,
All he
that's
said
different.
was 50. All he said was 50,000 in the go.
On Married at First Sight, you're having sex the first night, Brandy, when you get married?
Negative. Not on camera anyway.
You're crazy. I already know Ashley's answer.
You don't know my answer, boo.
What's
What's
your
the
answer?
answer?
What's my answer?
No.
Write it down. Wait. Write it down first. Hold up for
He
one or
he done
hold up for
said no.
one or two at the same time. What is the answer?
He said no. He said I'm not doing it. I'm gonna bust it wide open on a handstand, boo.
Mine's a no.
No,
Nah.
mine's a no. Mine's a no. Unless he's like, whew, drop dead. Like I just feel like we are going to make it.
Practice his
Like
name
I
is
just
Chris Evans.
know this is gonna work out. Then yes, but I would say
But you're
no.
already legally married to him, though, so I think it doesn't matter at that point.
But that don't mean I have
Technically, we
to.
can still get an annulment.
Right, that don't mean I have to give you a sneaky peeky.
Yeah, we're gonna give it. We're gonna treat this like a regular marriage. We're definitely consummating on the first
Oh,
night.
sneaky peeky.
So you're back to the person giving asking for citizenship. Now you still legally married to them. So now you want the freaky sneaky, the first
Well,
right away.
now, wait. Now, see, your body
Either
don't
way, you
belong to
legally
you when
married.
you're married. Your body belongs to your husband or your wife.
So
That's
if
why.
so if somebody comes over and they're paying you to come over, now you're back to saying you want to be able to do what you want with that person, right? Because you're
Married at
still
first sight, I'm
married.
having sex the first night. I'm not going deeper with that. Don't.
So
Wait, say again.
okay, go ahead. Say it again.
Married at first sight. If I was on that show, the first night we're gonna consummate our marriage.
But if somebody's
That's
paying you
such a
for
male
citizenship,
thing.
but if somebody's paying you for citizenship, are you still expecting to consummate?
No, because I mean that's not a real. Is that a real
It
marriage?
is a marriage.
Yes, he is. He already said if I'm. He
Yeah.
already said it, it's mine.
It's
Tell the
mine.
truth.
It's
Tell the truth.
mine.
Shame
It's
the devil.
mine. It's mine.
Exactly, and that's exactly how you feel, and that's fine. I mean, if you feel like you're
Yeah.
gonna consummate on the first night, do what you do. You know, if you feel like if you marry somebody who's a foreigner who doesn't know anything about anything, they're just trying to get here for the sake of their lives or whatever, then that's cool. So If it was seriously, if it was somebody escaping persecution or like escaping war, or trying to survive, trying to get away from, would you be more? Would you do it? Like he used Ukraine as an example.
Yeah, I'll tell you a true story, and this is a coincidence. Yesterday, after we had this conversation, I went out working with Ronnie and another coworker, and we knocked
Wherever
on the
he
house.
went.
We knocked on the house of a Dominican woman and her husband, and the sister was living there as well. And so we all part of the questions we asked is, "Are you married?" And their English was really broken. I don't think they understood, but we ended up learning that one was married and one was the sister. So my female colleague was like, "Oh, well, he's not married either. He's really a good guy. He's a really smart guy. This is the guy." The girl was like, "Oh, the married was like, you should get her number. Yada yada yada. This that another." And somehow or another, she said, joking, I'm sure, because I don't know. She said, joking. She was like, "I marry you. I become an American." Because they didn't look like they were. They looked like they could have been black, to be honest with you, but we found out they were Dominican. And that happened yesterday. So I played off because I didn't want her phone number or whatnot. But we laughed because we couldn't tell if she was serious or not. And some people who are escaping third world countries, war torn countries, are really desperate to get out of them. If I had to do it and got nothing in return to save someone from a situation and not expect sex or anything like that, I think I could. I think I could do it as a mission work.
Ask Ask. You said you could. You're on mute.
I was laughing at the mission work part.
Right.
All of a sudden, you doing mission work before you gun ho to break the law and consummate the marriage and treat it
No,
like
right.
now it's mission work. Okay.
No, it's the Lord's work.
I think I'm right. I think that if somebody is escaping war, I think that I could do it. I I would be a wreck. I would give it away because I would look like I'm harboring a fugitive everywhere I go. I would look like I'll be sweating profusely on winter nights.
Oh,
It's just- My hair would be
this is a cold
disheveled.
sweat. It's a cold sweat.
Right, for no reason. I would just look like I'm doing something illegal. I would be driving erratically for no reason. And so it's just, but if somebody, I think that I would feel like I'm helping them, and I think that that would allow me to do it because I'm saving your life, especially if they have children. I feel like, okay, I'm doing my part for mankind. And bring your grandma because that will also help me to do it. The more people you
Right.
bring, the better.
I need to live in nanny. I
Right, the more
think
people you bring.
I don't think I would do it for that if they were escaping. Like I hide you in my house. I am Frankie, but I don't think I would marry you because that would. I feel like that would be. I mean, it's illegal, but that would be an added stress. Like that would be a whole nother level of added stress because you stressed out. So your stress gonna mount add to my stress. We just gonna be two really stressed out people. I don't think I can do it for that reason. I'm out. I feel like a shark.
So you couldn't do it.
I don't think I could do it for that. Well, yeah, I don't think I could do it for because you're escaping. You're refugeeing from a country.
Even if the person was a respected politician in Haiti before the president got killed, throwing the country into turmoil, and he's educated, good guy, yada yada yada. You don't think that you could be a safe haven for him in America?
First of all, I'm gonna ask why you still single, sir. There's something wrong with you. I can't help you. That's what I'm. That's what I'm
So
wondering.
you said if he had a wife, he want to come over with it. That make you take them both.
Y'all can hide in the basement. We don't have basements, but you can hide in the basement. Y'all, come on. But I couldn't for that reason. So, yeah. But I thought it was a really interesting conversation that we had, and I've been thinking about it all day. I'm sorry I had to change the conversation or the topic today, but I was like, who else? Who else would? What female more so would marry somebody for basically to get them for their benefit to come to this country? And I don't think the guys was getting the fact that they're paying to come to the country. They're not paying to be
Ooh,
with me for life. What?
I just got a download. There are a lot of people that are marrying folks for benefit, and they don't even know it. It hasn't even it hasn't even dawned on them. There's some women and some men who have married people, and it's because of their benefits to them, and they're in it right
Right?
now.
Right. But I'm sure well, I hope that person's benefiting from it. But hey, do what you do. It won't be me. 250,000, 3 years. You want it? Come get it. That's all I have for today, y'all. I appreciate you joining me. Do you have anything you want to add?
Great conversation. I'm for wholesale. Read the parenthesis for the rest.
Okay. Okay. No? All right. Well, thank you. And ta-ta.
Good night.
Um, to all my ladies out there, we know better. We know better. Men are taking the money so that they can get the good stuff because they think they're gonna get the good stuff automatically. That's why they're like, oh, I'll take $5,000 for 17 years. Anywho, thank you for joining me tonight. Next week, our topic, I gotta look it up because I don't remember. Don't judge me, don't judge me. Who knows our topic? Anybody? Okay, I don't know. What is our topic for next week, y'all? It is who are bigger thirst trappers? That's the topic. Men or women? I think I know what y'all gonna say, but I'm not sure yet. But either way, I appreciate y'all joining me as usual every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Same place, same time, different topic. If you want to join, feel free. I always put a link in the comments. I pin it usually. I don't think I pinned it today, but I pin it usually. So come in. If you got something to say, pop in, pop out. But if you, I want to see some facial expressions when you say it, because I can see Priscilla's face when she says stuff. I can see Tasia's face when she says stuff. But I want the world to see these faces when you say it. So next time, I'll see you live here. Question time live.